Welcome back, everybody. I'm Giles, and this is another episode of Theater Talk Live. So I'm really excited because today we're going to have a really good conversation. There's so much crazy good stuff going on in the home theater world, and one of my buddies, Raphael, is here with me today, and he's going to tell you about some really cool stuff coming from three different brands that he represents. But I think to get started, let's do some introductions. Raphael, maybe you could tell everybody who you are and why they should care.
Thank you, Giles, for having me tonight. I'm very honored. I've watched your show many times, and actually, it's the first time I'm with you, so I'm
I'm
very,
super
very
happy to
honored.
have you.
Thank you so much. So yes, we're here tonight to talk about the company. I work for in the US. It's called Let's Get Physical Distribution, and we have three great brands to present to you tonight. Arvolution, the first one that most of you guys already know by now. It's a complete media center solution, with player, NAS, graphical interface, etc. That works pretty good. And we also have a new uh, audio video cable brand that is called Bridgee Cable. They are making, cables for all the major brands in the world, but it's the first time that they want to come into the light, and they asked me to help them for that in the US, and we'll talk about it. They are great products and very reasonable price and very unique features too. And last but not least, I will be presenting at CDR for the first time a new Ukrainian speaker brands. In fact, it's a brand that has been working for more than 30 years for real commercial cinemas. And 3 years ago, they decided to go and make some products dedicated for home theater enthusiasts. So I'm very proud and glad to help them, introducing this great brand into the US.
Right, and that's the name of that one is Mag Theatron, right?
Yes, Mac Theatron, exactly.
Great. All right. Well, so I think we're going to jump in with Arvolution first. But before we get into it, everybody that's out there watching tonight, if you have any questions, this is your opportunity to get these up on the screen, and we can get those answered as best we can. And man, I'm really excited for Cedia and the Mag Theatron speakers. That's going to be awesome. But
Yeah.
speaking of awesome and Arvolution, uh, you guys have released a ton of products, including the PlayerOne 8K. But there's a new product that is just, I mean, it's almost available in the USA. It's almost here.
Most,
Maybe we could start there, and you could tell us a little bit about what this new product is and kind of the idea behind it. Why does it exist?
Yes, people, are using the Player 8K for several months now, and they are pretty happy about it. But it's like a big players, like the kind that you put into your home theaters room. And if you want to add another player into any room in your house, it's a little bit too big. So the point was we listened to our users, and they ask of us to release, a smaller player, a little bit like the PT used to do, with those PT Mini those days.
That's right.
And
Yep.
yes, the Mini right here, you know, it can do most of the things that its big brother is doing. It doesn't do 8K, but for most users, 8K, it's not relevant for now,
It's
at
not
least
a
for
thing.
now.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, so the point was to make a Dolby Vision, HDR10 plus, Dolby Atmos, a media player that will be accessible for anyone with a great interface, the new R video interface inside. And you can hang it behind the TV on the wall. You can put it in a smaller, shelf. You can put it anywhere. And as long as you plug it into the RG45 network, it will play everything from the DVD to 4K to your music files. It will play almost everything. So this is, you know, the, for me, the best product for anyone to have to play your own content at home.
Yeah, and so let's talk a little bit about the whole ecosystem for folks that might not really be familiar. I think most folks that are into home theater will know exactly who you are and exactly how the product works. But for those of you out there that are uninitiated, you know,
Yeah.
basically the way the system works is you have some type of storage where you keep media files, and that might be on an Revolution NAS. And I believe several units have an option for an internal hard drive as well, correct?
Exactly. Our ecosystem, in fact, is very flexible. The NAS is really not mandatory for you to use our Evolution players, but it's a plus because when you have played with the NAS, you know that it's reliable. You can store all your files and you can have access from multiple points in your house. You can have access to the same collection. You don't have to worry about having a defective internal hard drive. If it breaks, you have a security into a NAS, inside a
Mhm.
NAS. Sorry, with the red 5, if any disk is is failing, it will be redundant and there will be another drive that will take over, the defective drives. So it's very important, but I know it has a price. And, to start with our brand, our Evolution, you can just use an external hard drive. As long
Right.
as you have
And you
already
can see
your
it right
files
here.
in MKV, ISO, M2TS, whatever file you've got at home, you can plug it in and it will scan everything and it will make your experience of watching movies looks very cool.
Right. Yeah, and I love this particular device, the Player Mini, because the price point is lower, and maybe you can talk a little bit about the pricing for the different models here in a bit.
Yes.
But like you said, you don't have to have a really huge network system if you don't want to. If you want to come in at a lower price point, you have this Mini. But then, as we have pictured here, they're USB ports. And I mean, you could have something even as simple as a little guy like this if you wanted to, or a larger unit, or I would probably go with one of the new external SSDs, right? And
Yeah.
and
But
that's
but
you
you
got to
are
see the
limited with capacity
capacity.
with SSD for now.
Mhm.
This little baby can play up to 32 terabytes with an external, hard drive. It doesn't exist yet, but it's
Right.
compatible up to 32 terabytes. So you can have a lot of content with a small unit like that. So it's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
And I want to show. Let me see if I can find a picture here. Um, of the UI. I think there was one here at the top. And oh my gosh, the specifications, look at all the
Yes.
cool stuff. There's there's a lot of stuff going on. But this UI is just
Yeah.
amazing. And that's for me that's always been the secret sauce behind this kind of product, and particularly the way that you guys do it is very appealing, because it makes everything not only very easy to get to your movies because you can just sit down and push the button and go, but it also gives you a really nice experience as you're browsing through your movies, right? It's just it's
Ex-
gorgeous. I'll have some content coming up so people can see the UI, more directly. But it is for me a really the kind of the killer app for the whole ecosystem. Outside of just making things easy to access, it makes it fun and beautiful to access as well.
E- Exactly. And you don't need to have a computer for that. You can
Mhm.
just do everything with your single remote and you can really do everything. Now, that being said, for you people that have got a huge collection, we have also PC app, a Mac app that you can manage, big collection if you want to change many cover arts, if you want to change the synopsis, everything. It's easier to do it with a keyboard and a mouse in your computer. But, it's not mandatory once again, and you can do everything with the remote. So everyone
Right.
can do it, in fact.
So, for folks that are just getting into the ecosystem and they have maybe a hard drive with a bunch of different content files on it, the system will be able to look at all of that information and then pull those files in, and it'll automatically go out and grab all of this background image and mini artwork, and it does this all automatically for you, right? So, I think, some people are concerned like, oh, I'm gonna have to sit there for hours and try and find images and all. No, it will do that, right?
It's right there, out of the box. You will have this, the picture that we are seeing right now. You will have exactly the same thing. You can customize your experience if you want to change your cover art because you like one over another one. But
Mhm.
basically, you will have the best experience right out of the box. And we are clearly make our own, cover arts, our own animated background. We
Right,
ask of you a little help for the soundtracks because when it recognize a file, it will look for the soundtrack to put you in the mood before you watch your movie, and that you can contribute, with a simple program on your computer, and you can add the the little 30 seconds that
right.
you like about your movies or your TV shows, the song that for you recognize this movie. You can make it and you can edit it yourself. So it's pretty cool.
That's nice. Yeah, and for folks that aren't familiar, so this is what a NAS, which stands for Network Attached Storage, looks like. And the magic of a unit like this is just as you said. You put several hard drives in here, one into each of the slots, and then the technology uses RAID technology so that you get redundancy inside of your hard drive. So if you put 4 drives in and one of them fails, the system keeps running, and you can replace the dead disk with a new disk, and it'll rebuild all the information, and then you're protected again. So there's nothing worse than having a lot of data on a hard drive, and then the hard drive dies,
Yeah,
and you lose it all.
it's always a nightmare when something like that happens, because your collection is everything. We know that. So the best way to keep it secure is to having a NAS, whether it's our Evolution NAS or another third-party brand of NAS. But a NAS is really, really necessary at one point when you have many, many movies inside your collection.
Right. So can we talk a little bit about the R video
Yeah.
application, and can you tell us exactly what this is? Because I know that this is the app that comes on the, like it says here, on the Revolution player, and then you can have this app if you have older hardware from the Zapiti brand and use it there as well. So how does that all work?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, because the whole point, when unfortunately the PD has been liquidated, it
Mhm.
was terrible for everyone, but I didn't want, everyone to lose everything that they have built. So I've got in touch with this new brand, Evolution, and I asked of them, if they could create something that could be compatible for all the Zappity users. And they did the job, under less than 3 months, and will be always be grateful for that. And now, thousands of users around the world can still use their Zappity players with the R video inside. That it is even better than the Zappity video interface was because it's faster, there are more features, and it looks cleaner. You'll see soon, when you will have the new player yourself.
Mhm.
We'll make sure of that. And so it's really, really great to have this new interface. So basically, it's compared to the PD, it's way more faster. You can browse every movies you have in a couple of seconds. You keep pressing the bottom arrows, the down arrows, sorry, you can go straight down to the bottom. So it's really fast. You have a new presentation, a little bit like Netflix, more
Right.
horizontal. Then you can choose your movies in like a Netflix way, which is more contemporary. So it's really great. And, some cool features will keep coming, and especially the demo sample clips. The demo sample clips,
So
I
important.
hope I will be able to present it to the CDA. And it will be like, you can choose a sample out of any movies that you have, a clips of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, no matter what you like. I always take as an example, the Matrix bullet scene. If you
Oh
want to
yeah.
show it to impress your friends, you go to the ISO files that you have, or the MKV file that you have, and you just have to press A and B on the remote, A for the start and B for the end of the scene, and it will store the scene, and you will be able to access it and show it, when your friends are coming or your family is there. So it's a great features that Kaleidescape is having, actually, with the favorite scenes for many years. I always thought it was a very cool features, and I want people to experience this kind of experience with a less expensive price. So
You know,
it will
that's
be available very, very soon.
that will be an outstanding feature to have. I've had I don't know how many people, many people, when we talk about this product, that is very high on the list of the desired feature, right? They want to be able to have a friend come over and show their system off, right? They want to jump to the best scenes very quickly and not have to fast forward and rewind. Just go,
Yeah.
and then you can experience it. That's great.
W-
That's great.
w-
Uh,
let's be honest, we all do. We just want to impress everyone when they come into our own theater. So
yeah,
it will be useful for everyone, the dealers, the end users, everyone. It will be a great experience.
that's exciting. So we do have one question, and I don't even know what this
Yeah.
is. So does it decode MLP audio format? I don't even know what MLP is.
MLP is the meridian. In fact, most of the Dolby Atmos is the codec of Dolby Atmos is made out of LMP. LMP is the source of every iRes file, audio and video, mostly audio files in the world. And unfortunately, it plays the MLP codecs from Dolby Atmos, but not the MLP audio files. You need to have a special licensing for that. And for now, I won't say it will never happen, but for now, it's not a priority. So no MLP, but we have DSD, DSF, FLAC. We can do most of iRes audio file already, except MLP.
Right on. And I do want to say, welcome to Supernova and Barzin, and all the others that are out watching in the audience right now. Thanks for dropping by and joining us. And if you have questions, please get those up. So the next thing I want to cover is just before we move on to the next brand, is when folks get ready to buy this product, what is the easiest way for them to make a purchase? Is it to come here and then go to where to buy, and then maybe go to the U.S. store, or what's the best way?
It's Yes, it's if they don't have a dealer, around them, or they are not using a dealer, let's go. The easiest way is to go with our store, of course, but we like to keep a good relationship with our dealers in the US.
Hmm.
So, if they know someone around them, go and ask. They are mostly aware of our video, and if they don't, we will be happy to let them enter our dealership partnership, and make them a Evolution dealer. So if you feel confident about doing it yourself, you can go to our website. If you don't, please go and find a dealer that will know about us, and he will get in touch with us, and he will take care good. He will have a good take care of you.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I think that's a really good point. You know, I think most people that are home theater enthusiasts will absolutely be able to set this up, particularly when you're using attached storage. Now, when you move to NAS and need a network and cabling, then some folks might find a lot of benefit from having a dealer with services where they can help get that stuff set up. But for everybody out there, if you have one of these units and you have questions, you can always come to my channel, and I'll help you get the help that you need wherever you're at. So I'm always happy to help and answer questions and that kind of thing. But just to take a peek so people can kind of understand what they're looking at from a pricing perspective. So let's see here. So you got your NAS 2700. You've got the PlayerOne 8K 899. The PlayerOne for 749, and then the new player, the new one that's just releasing. What is the price point going to be on that guy?
It will be $349.
Oh, see, you're in the magic numbers with that one. That when I talk with people, they're like, if it costs like 300 something, I'm fine. They're like, well, maybe 1,000. That's a little high, but 300 something I can do. And so this is outstanding.
Of course. Yeah. And you won't you will have a great experience. It's not that it's a small player, it can do everything great. And of course the 8K player will have some features that the 4K doesn't have, but for most of the users, it will be already a great player to add to their products, for sure.
Right. Now, the one I was going to move on, but one thing I do want to point out for folks and make sure I'm telling people correctly is, if you have a home where you have 2 or 3 different locations where you want to watch television, you can have a player at each location and they can all share their storage together. So if there's a movie on one unit, it can be watched by one of the other units, correct? So it makes a big network. Yeah. Is that correct?
Exactly. Even if you don't have a NAS, the player should get an internal drive or external drive into one of the master player. It will share the collection to at least 2 other players around the house. So you can have 3 players, with just one hard drive, and it can share in SMB over the network all the information, all your connection. So it's it's a cool ecosystem that with 3 small players, it doesn't cost too much, and you can enjoy 4K Dolby Vision wherever in your house at the same time.
That's outstanding. That's outstanding.
Very, very convenient. Right.
So next up, let's talk a little bit about HDMI, and this is Bridgee.
Yes.
And these
exactly
are really cool.
Yeah, so you will tell me, another HDMI cable, we've got already, 1,000 in the US at least. So I will tell you that, yes, you're right. But this one, Bridgee is making HDMI cable for most of the major brands around the world. So they know what they're doing. They even do, optical cable for the NASA. They are very, very high-end in what they do, and they know what they are doing. And when they contacted me, in fact, they sent me some samples, and I've tested it. I was a custom integrator for 20 years. So I know a little bit about HDMI cable and the problem I had with some brands, and some cables that weren't always, very effective. So all the cables they send me, they work nice. It's not that it's better than any other brands, but it's very reliable. It's 2.1, it's 48 gigahertz. They can do everything at a very, very fair price. So, I was very enthusiastic about it. And you have some cool, unique features about at least 3 of them. The one that is actually on your screen is the Mark series. The Mark series is the high-end range that we have at Bridgee. And you have a special chip inside that makes it, sure that every packet, is received and sent correctly. So that's why this cable is the first optical HDMI cable in the US to be ISF certified. So it's very cool. The cable looks very nice. The packaging is great. You've got white gloves, you got velvet black bag, inside. And you can have up to 90 feet optical cable at a very reasonable price, around 300 retail price for the higher end and the biggest, length available today. So it's really cool to have this kind of cable. You're sure by using Bridgee that your signal will get there. Okay, it will not be better than anything else, but you will have the confidence that it works.
Right.
So
Now
that's very
there's one
important.
feature, and I'm not sure which cable it is, but
You
there
can go, yeah, you can go to residential. You can go to residential, and you can go to the Kai 2.1, for instance.
okay, 2.1. All right.
Yes,
And this website is a little slow. All right,
yes,
this guy right here.
yes,
And then this
yes.
one,
This one.
still armored cable. Look at that.
Yes, this is very cool because if you have been an integrator or even an end users and you have pulled a little bit too hard,
Mhm.
on the optical cable, it's very fragile. So this one was made to be sure that even if you have to pull it, out of a gauge, of a plastic tube or everything, you can bend it, you can twist it in every direction, it won't break. So that's a very
I've never
cool
seen this
feature.
before. Yeah, I've never seen a cable with that kind of sheath. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
and you can even use it for outdoor application. If you have got like a cabin, in your garden or everything, you can put it, directly outdoor. It will last for years. And the head, is very thin, so you can put it, on a small pipe. It's very easy to put it, in every condition, in every location. So
Yeah,
this one
and
is very
speaking of
cool, and
that,
I don't see another brand making this kind of cable anywhere else in the world.
no, I've never seen this for anybody else. But
Yeah.
speaking of installation, you do have a cable that is designed for custom installation where the ends actually come off, right?
Yes, exactly. It's a detachable head, 2.1, 48 gigahertz. You can go to cable if you want.
Uh-oh, I think we've lost you for a
It will be
second. Okay, you're back.
professional. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, you're back.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let me see if we got. You go to professional. Yeah. And you go to, I don't think it's, you can go to the H18D. It will be the same look, but we have the new version, the H48D for detachable.
Okay. Right on. Oh yeah. So you see how this piece will come off on
Yeah.
the display side, and then you can fish this through your tubing or inside your wall or however you
Yeah.
need to, and then you just pop this back on. That's to me so nice
Mhm.
when you have an installation with an older cable and you need to pull a new one through the
Yeah.
conduit, and there's a lot of stuff in there and you have enough space to get the cable in but the head's too big. This is
Yeah.
brilliant.
This is a lifesaver. So,
It really
for
is.
sure. So, yeah. And
And
you can
this is
go
why
up to 90
yeah,
feet, easily.
yeah,
So this
that
one is just the 2.0 version, but
mhm.
we've just received the 2.1 48 gigahertz version, of course, that is already available on our website in the US.
That's outstanding. Great, great. And will you have this brand at CEDIA for people to look at if
Yes,
they're attending?
for sure.
Okay.
Every single cable of the range, we will have it on display. With, in fact, the CEO of Bridgee that will come from Taiwan directly to the US, to Denver, to present the cable himself. So it will be
That's
very
awesome.
exciting times.
Great, great. All right. Well, now I don't want to say that I saved the best for last, but this product and brand that we're going to talk about now is really exciting to me. So let me get this one queued up here because I this is new for me, and it will be the first time that I think many people, including myself, are seeing this. And let me
Yeah,
share and click. And this is Mag Theatron, best cinemas of the
yeah,
world. Yeah, and
yeah.
this stuff
Yeah,
looks
in fact,
amazing.
you have already listened to this, to this sound at Regal Cinemas, AMC, commercial cinemas. They
Okay.
are, expanding, and they are in most of the rooms in this big complex. They are even they have equipped recently the Festival de Cannes in France.
Right.
All the theaters where the jury is watching their movies.
Mhm.
All the speakers are Mag Audio or speakers. So they are into business for 30 years now. This range is very dedicated to home theaters, so it's brand new, but you've got some nice big LCR speakers, the screen speakers. You've got three-way speakers, you've got two-way speakers, very shallow. You will see it's very, it's like 30 centimeters deep. It's really, really small. You can put it behind any screen and you will have dramatic results, in your home theater with this kind of speakers.
Right. I'm going to pull up the. Let me see
Yeah.
if this is the right one. No, let me. This is. Yeah, I think this is the right one. Um, I mean, there are a lot of products here, and these are really. I mean,
Yeah.
they're gorgeous. I mean, they look super nice. I love the way they present. And these are designed to be either behind the screen. Do you know if these can be put on wall as well?
Yes, of course, they are. You've got some wall mounting inside everyone's each and everyone's speakers, so you can put it on wall for sure, but you can put it behind the screen, which is where they're supposed to be. These kind of speakers are supposed to feel like you are in a real big commercial cinemas with the same, experience that can deliver, big speakers behind real commercial cinemas.
Right.
And you've got three separated models for each models. You've got the left, the center, and the right, because the hole is angled directly to the center of the room, which is very clever because you don't have to turn the speakers. You can just put it straight,
Right on the
and you
wall.
can gain some space and it will be already angled to go directly in the middle of the room. So
That's
it's pretty
outstanding.
clever and it works beautifully.
Yeah, no, I was just looking at
This,
that. So you can see like the M15C for center, L for left, and
yes,
R for right. Yeah, nice.
exactly.
Yeah, this
So
is
it's
gorgeous, and it's a full range. They have amplification, subwoofers, and all the speakers as well. Surround,
everything.
mains. Yeah, that's
Surround, you have angle speakers that are very shallow that you can put on the wall for the wide. I've been in my room. I didn't use any wide until I know this brand, because I used to use JBL 8320 speakers, which are the same that you have in most commercial cinemas for years. The problem is that they are not very shallow, so I couldn't angle them because I've got acoustic treatment in my room, and it was going to be too deep, for me to have wide speakers. But when Mac Theatron arrives, I've got the CS44 speakers that I can put, between my surround and my front speakers, and finally I could enjoy, having some wides in my home theater setup, and it changed my experience for sure.
that's outstanding. So all
Mhm.
three of these brands are going to be distributed by Let's Get Physical, and they will be available via different dealers here in the USA. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. And we are going to present them to the dealers too at Denver, because it will be the first time the speakers ever made to the US. And it's actually shipping next week from Europe. And we will have the first two pallets, in 2 weeks in the US.
That's
So it's
outstanding.
pretty exciting times.
And these will be on demo at CEDIA. So if you want to listen to them, they will be there. Is that true?
No, not demo.
Oh,
You won't be able to listen to them, because it's very sudden, and I wanted to present, the speakers, how they look. But definitely we will go to other shows, after CDR, where you will be able to listen to it. So I will make sure of that. But for Celia, unfortunately, this time, it was we didn't have much time to get a real room to get a proper demo for this kind of speakers. So
Right, but
next year
people
for
will be
sure,
able
but
to,
before that for smaller shows.
yeah, but people will be able to see the products for
Yes,
Arvolution, Bridgee, and the speakers, Mag Theatron.
exactly.
Great. All right. Well, I think that's going to bring us to the end for tonight. Is there anything else that you want to? Well, there's one question here that we didn't get to. So I think this is for Arvolution. Capable of playing an
Yeah,
MKV file with DTS HD. Yeah, I think that from its USB
of
connection.
course.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, no problem. From a NAS, from a USB, from an internal drive, it will play everything. Of
Yeah.
course, you can be
Yeah, I
sure of
think
that.
this is kind of the bread and butter. That functionality for the DTS HDMA over USB, 100%. Yeah, and I've done
Yeah,
this with the older products, and I will make sure to show this functionality when I create some content around the players, showing how it can play, the most advanced, so to speak, codecs over USB from a local drive. Great.
exactly.
All right, I think we're gonna, with that, go ahead and pin this to the ball and be done. So, Raphael, thank you so much for joining us tonight to tell us about these three brands. It's been great having you.
It's been my pleasure, and I'm very grateful to was able to speak for these brands, and looking forward to seeing the most people in Denver next month, hopefully, and in any other shows that will be coming, before the end of the year.
Right on. Yeah, and so for everybody out there, I will be at CEDIA as well. So if you want to stop by and say hi, I actually live just south of Denver, so it's only half an hour for me to drive up to the show. So it is my favorite show because
To see
it's right in
you.
my backyard. So really, I don't
Yeah,
have to fly or
yeah.
anything. So if anyone has any questions about the venue or the show itself, feel free to reach out, and I can help you with whatever you need to know to get prepared for visiting Denver. And with that, we're going to go ahead and close it out. Everybody out there, thank you so much for joining. Your time is precious, so thank you so much for spending it here with Raphael and I tonight. See you guys in the next one.
Thank you so much.